Watch me troubleshoot a 2009 Kawasaki Verseys. I was having some non-start issues, and I don't know if you can call it no crank because there was like one crank, it was like, and then it would like cough out, no more than that. So I don't know if you can call that a no start, no crank, or a no start with one crank, but here we go. 2009 Kawasaki Verseys. I already checked the fuses under this bad boy. The battery terminals are tight in there, and this was on a trickle charger for about a month. Clearly incorrectly, I was gone for a month and it had the battery on a trickle charger. It was a week old battery. Not a week old battery, but a old weak battery, so this is what's happening. So, come up to here, turn the key on. You hear the fuel injector there. The cutoff switch is off, and we're gonna... Essentially what you're hearing there is the fuel pump going on to prime the engine, and then you hear the clicking of the starter switch, and then the starter solenoid just vibrating. It can't do much more than that because it doesn't have enough power going into it, so it just vibrates. Sounds like it wants to turn over, but it doesn't, and then you hear the clicking from what I think could be the relay there. So, alright, here on the left side of the bike, got the Warrior drill right here with this, what is it? This Allen head on it. So let's see, it looks like one. Got my trusty dusty bowl, I can just drop this into right here. Looks like there was one fitting on here. Let's see if that's the case. Oh boy. Alright. Something fell out of there. It's like a rock or something. Oh no? Oh yes. Hopefully I can reuse these clips right here. Alright, it's always good to have video proof there. Is number one, the bike was not starting. Number two, the bike wasn't going into gear. It was just staying in neutral. It was like neutral, nothing else. So yeah, interesting. Well, looks like there's another place right here that I can do something there. It was at this moment I didn't know that I messed up. So if we rewind this, if we go to the beginning, the sounds of the starter solenoid vibrating, that should have been my first clue that it was a battery. And I did ask someone, hey, what's this issue? And they're like, I have the same issue and it's the battery. But instead of just charging the battery or taking the battery out and replacing it, I was like, you know what? Perhaps it's the solenoid itself going out. But my first dead giveaway should have been the sound coming from the solenoid. It wasn't dead, that's for sure. So let's dig in further. Oh, it's sticking in there. Alright, just make sure these are different. Tall one goes on the top. Okay. Alright, just a clip that kind of goes in there. That seems to be where the clicking is coming from. Alright, over here with the Warrior flashlight. Interesting. See from your vantage point, but what we're looking at is the two leads that are coming into the starter relay solenoid, and if I were to touch those 2 points right there, they would short and you'd get the engine trying to start. So that's what's happening there. It like takes the power from the battery and takes it to the starter. So you put those points together, it'll try to start. I probably should have just done that. That must be where maybe some fuses are. I need to take a better look here. know what I'm looking at right there. Oh, that's where the fuses are. Okay. Well, that appears to be good. What we're looking at here is the extra fuse that is under the starter relay solenoid, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but this was a extra fuse that was under there. I thought it was a fuse that plugged in. It's hard to see a lot of stuff. So there's an actual fuse that is behind the cable coming in to this relay. I don't know if you see that. Alright, so apparently when it's clicking from the starter relay, when you try to start, apparently that is when the battery voltage is low. I guess I probably didn't have to take all the stuff off, but you know, that's the beast. That's probably the understatement of the day right there. I could have just used my key and popped open the seat and then gotten to the battery. And yeah, but here I am just doing all this extra stuff. Yes. Oh. It was at this moment I realized that the plug that I was given with my bike when I first bought it was the other side to this plug that I randomly found. Just happened to come across when I was trying to put this panel back on. So the way this plug is, it looks like there's a second part of the plug. But no, this plug meets like a handshake, and that's how it connects. But we learn something every day, don't we? Guess I could use it to charge. Look at that. That's good to find. This goes into my battery charger thing if I can find it. Alright, so I checked the 30 amp fuses that were behind this panel. I just put the panel back on. And so of course the 30 amp fuses were great, especially the spare. That was chef. So I checked the DC volts between the positive and the negative. Put it on the 12. So if you can't tell by now, it is definitely nighttime. The sun is gone. There is no more sun. My sun is gone, and I'm still working on this situation. This reminds me, anyways, volt setting on the multimeter is showing 12.52 DC volts on here from the battery, and it needs 12.6 to 12.8. So the battery voltage is slipping. That's why the starter relay was vibrating or doing that kind of thing. It was mighty accurate, if I may say myself. So what I need to do is charge it via this port. I thought that the didn't get to it. Charging mechanism was missing a piece, but this is how it comes. That's a connector right there. So I need to see if I can locate the trickle charger that I had. So you know how I was telling you about this bad boy, how I thought this connector right here was only part of the charging connector? Well, here's the charger, and this is what the connector looks like. Who would have known, huh? Who would have known? And look, a perfect fit. Now I just need to find a battery to plug this bad boy into. Catch you on the other side. Yeah, what pan? Am I right? It's kind of cool to see the tubular structure of the motorcycle there. Yeah. I'm going to turn off this flashlight right here so you can see a little bit. Look at this, huh? This is a find from Wish. You push the button right here, and then you can kind of see what your hands are doing, huh? And let's see how we can If I'm very close to something, then you can kind of see it. But otherwise, good luck with that. Few moments later. All right, let's see how much charge I have. 86%. That'll last a little bit. So I'll just plug this bad boy in here. Let's see what we got. All right, and then turn on the battery DC over here. Huh. There we go. All right, we have some lights here. Let's see what this means. All right, it says power. Power's on. Charge is not complete. I guess we'll let that sit for a couple of hours and come back, huh? A few hours later. Oh man, not again, not again. Remember I said I had a weak old battery, or should I say old and weak battery? Well, in the early part of the day when it's chilly, the battery voltage drops down. So it may show like 12.68 on the meter, but when you go to start it, the voltage drops down to like 7. So with a new battery, it would better hold the voltage throughout the evening without putting it on a charger, and let's see what happens. Hey there, I just want to take a moment and thank each and every one of you, Chassis, for being here. Even if it is for 15 seconds. I just appreciate each and all of your support that you have right here. God bless you. Amen. Around 12.68, and then when you put the key in the ignition and hit the starter button, it'll go down to like 7.86 or something like that. Insane. So gotta put this on the charger. By the way, you can purchase shirts like these in my Spring Tee store. Link is in the bio in my YouTube profile. Alright, so it's been about an hour here, so let's see what our voltage is right here. I'm just going to disconnect the battery charger here. See if I can put this protective cap back on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, turn this bad boy off. So it's been about an hour, so let's see what the dealio is. I guess I could put this panel back on here correctly, because if this is working, I want to jet out of here like a Jet 2 holiday, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Oh yes. Okay, get it back. Tell the DJ to rewind that track. Let's see, where did my meter go? What is my meter? Something tells me my meter is in here. Might as well just, for kicks and giggles, see what the voltage is. Oh man, that's in there good. I don't know if you're supposed to leave the leads in here like so, but I have them in there. I'm going to put this on 12 volts DC, alright? Let me come around to the other side. I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. You can hear me, I know you can. You can hear me. All right, positive lead, negative lead, 13.10. Well, I think bar will do. I think that'll just about do it. I think that'll do it right there. Hallelujah. Okay. I think that's it, guys. Put this seat on here. Okay. Do I have the keys on me? That's the question. Alright, key. In the ignition. In the ignition. That's the plan at least. Okay. Alright. Well, this is exciting, guys. So very exciting. Okay. Definitely need to take this drill. All right. Got faith in it this time. I do. Alright, turning key. Fuel pump. Cutoff is off.